Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jeremy, and I want to tell you a little bit about my life because it's been pretty amazing. Okay, well, I am a survivor of a traumatic brain injury which I incurred in a terrible car accident March 23rd, 1996. That's a long time ago. I'm 48 years old right now. This all happened when I was 20. But pretty much it should have killed me. I shouldn't even be here today. But I fought back through every trial and tribulation I had over the past 27 years. I was in a coma. I'll go into all this stuff later, but I pretty much almost died in this car accident. And, I recovered, got through the rehab, went through all the stuff in the hospital, got on disability for 12 years, finally got myself off once I was able to function again. And this all happened in Pennsylvania. I ended up moving to South Carolina and moving to Texas for 15 years, got married, got off disability, worked in healthcare, all that good stuff. And then I had my wife die on me. So the hits just keep coming, if you know what I mean. But I'm still going strong. I'm here today in South Carolina. I got a great job. Got everything back pretty much. I've been off disability. I made the most I've made since this year. I've had a really successful year. And I just wanted to get my story out there, so now I'm going to go into greater detail so y'all understand everything that I've been through and overcome. So I guess we'll start back at the beginning. It's 1996. I'm in school at Indiana University of Pennsylvania. I grew up in Erie, PA. And IUP is about 2.5 hours south of me, about halfway between Penn State and Pittsburgh. I'd come home one Saturday morning to do a March 23rd, 1996. I had taken a trip home with a friend of mine because we were doing some job stuff for the summer. Well, I didn't quite make it home. I got about 5 minutes from the house, and I was crossing Route 20 in Erie on Millfair Road, going north, and I got T-boned by someone when I was attempting to cross Route 20. Route 20 was a 4-lane interstate highway. And there were no lights there back in the 90s. So I'm going, so this car comes, T-bones me. I take the brunt of the impact. I'm in a small 4-door Mazda Protege car. It pushes me about 50 feet down the road. I hit heads with my passenger. That caused my traumatic brain injury because we hit heads so hard. And the car door came in on my side and shattered the iliac crest off my pelvic bone. I have a nice scar from it too. This is all metal plate in here. Anyway, so after that, ambulance shows up, cuts me out of the car using the jaws of life. What happened at, I hit heads with my passenger, my buddy Jim. My upper torso fell behind the passenger seat. My lower torso landed in the middle console. Now there was blood everywhere because the car door punctured my side. Like I said, they used jaws of life to cut me out of the car. And they life flighted my ass to Hammett Hospital. On the way there, I coded 4 times. It means my heart stopped and they brought me back to life. Then I got to the hospital and I fell into a coma. I was out for the rest of March, whole month of April, to about the beginning of May. That's like 5 weeks of my life gone like that. When I woke up, that's all I remember. I was laying in a hospital bed. I'm laying there and I'm like, okay, I woke up. I got an itch on my nose. My left hand, I was waiting for it to come up and it scratched my nose. It never did. So I got so agitated that I took my right hand and smacked myself in the face. And my mother, at the time I didn't know this, but she was sitting across the bed against the wall. She saw that, came up, put her hand over my throat so I could talk, because I was trying to talk but no sound was coming out. So she came over and put her hand on my neck and suddenly I could speak. And that was because I had a tracheotomy. So there was a hole in my throat and I needed to cover that hole to let the air pass over my vocal cords, which would allow sound to come out of my mouth. Well, I wasn't aware of this fact, because like I said, I just woke up out of a nightmare as far as I'm concerned. So she puts her hand over my neck, and the voice that I hear come out is not mine. It sounds like some slow functioning retard. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? So I ask her in this slow monotone voice, what's happening? And she goes and informs me that I had been in a serious car accident and I was now in the hospital. And that was pretty much it, She was like, you're recovering. And I was like, okay. And I just thought it was all a bad dream, and I just kept waiting to wake up one day and be perfectly normal, but that never happened. Now I'll give you a little backstory. At the time I was in school, I was a Marine Corps reservist. Well, let's go back a little further. My freshman year, I didn't do that great. Like most American students, my first year was a shit show. So, my parents said they wouldn't pay for school anymore. So, I decided, well, okay, here goes Uncle Sam. Signed up for the Marine Corps, took a year off of school, went to boot camp, and all my training. Came back the following spring. Then I decided to first get a job. We're going to upgrade as a waiter. Then when the summer came, I took some summer classes so I could get back in school, get my GPA up, and then I re-enrolled in the fall, full time. And I was doing fine, made some great friends, going to school, everything's going great, got a girlfriend, all that good stuff. So, then the accident happened in March and changed my life completely. For a while I didn't believe it was real because I just thought it was a terrible nightmare. But I never woke up, so I just kind of faced the facts and was like, okay, we gotta do something about this. Now, when I was in the hospital, I had occupational therapy, vision therapy, recreational therapy, physical therapy, you name it, I had it. I had to go see a psychiatrist. That was an adventure. So my first day with the psychiatrist, her name was Sue Glenn. It's at Hammond Hospital in Pennsylvania. She's sitting across her desk trying to tell me that I was going to accept the fact that things were going to be different, really different, and I wasn't going to be able to do the things I did before. And I may never walk again and all that stuff. I looked her dead in the face and I said, you can't tell a Marine what he can and cannot do. And I was like, everything is going to be fine, I'm going to get through this, no problem, and everything's going to get back to normal. Well, I wasn't 100% right on that statement, but I mean, I've come pretty damn close to it. You know, my injuries. Where do you listen to these injuries? Okay, like I said, a car door had coming to my side, shattered that crest off my pelvic bone. So I have a nice metal plate in here holding it together. I already told you I hit heads with my passenger. That caused my traumatic brain injury. The doctors said my brain was rattling around in my skull so violently that if I would have been hit this much harder, my brain stem would have snapped and I would have been dead instantly. So, I'm pretty damn lucky to be here. It's okay, so I had a head injury. I had a thing in my pelvic bone was fucked up. But besides that, just miraculously, this was still good. My moneymaker didn't get hurt, so this was all good, so I'm good. Luckily, that's a blessing. But yeah, the major thing that happened when I woke up out of the coma was my whole left side was paralyzed. That was the side I was hit on because I was driving and I got hit by a car coming this way. Well, it wasn't a car, it was a big 4x4 truck. The guy's name was Gary Monahan. I remember when it was in Erie, Pennsylvania. He had a truck and four-wheel drive store. It was on Peninsula Drive. It was across from McDonald's. I remember it, I'll never forget it because it had a big 4x4, big tire, those big 4x4 trucks. They used to get the crash up the derbies and the 4x4 derbies. The big monster truck with the big ass wheels. Well, that's what it was. It was a big tire in the front of the shop. It said Gary Monahan's 4x4 store, whatever the hell it was. I remember it because every time I went to McDonald's, it was there right across the street. So I'll never forget the guy. Hold on, check this out. After I had the next day, well, I don't know, the next day, whatever. But while I was in the hospital, while I'm in a coma now, this guy calls my mother, tells her he's gonna sue her for the damage to his vehicle. It's like, what? You hit me, dude. Whatever. Just kind of just shows you what kind of people live in this world. Well, anyway, like I said, I had all these therapies. I remember Keith, he was my physical therapist. Great guy. I learned a lot from him. He helped me so much. So, if he's out there, I'm thanking him. But, yeah, it was a interesting thing to go through. Because like I said, I was in a wheelchair when I first woke up because I couldn't walk. I couldn't do much shit. I was pretty much invalid. I was getting fed through a tube. Couldn't walk, could hardly talk. My left side was paralyzed, so I couldn't use it. But I'll tell you the one thing I did. This right here was my main form of communication because I didn't have to cover up any trach, nothing. It was real quick. If I like it, bam, it came out. Funny story. One time something happened in my hospital. When I was in my room. My brother was here. My brother told me because I have two younger brothers. And he got so sick of me flipping him off. He just went nuts. He was like, fuck, F you. But, because, whatever. But yeah, that kind of, like I said, I was in the Marine Corps Reserves. I had taken a year off of school. And going to the Marine Corps and was coming, I came back and did all that shit. So, the doctor told my parents that he could tell I was a Marine because while I was in the coma, I kept trying to pull out my feeding tube and drink from it because I was thirsty. He said those were my survival skills coming through. And right away you could tell I was a Marine because those are the things that we do. We don't care. We're going to find a way. So, but yeah, that was pretty much sucked big time. My life was totally changed. It was nuts. I was in college. I had messed up my first year, but I accepted that. I had gone to the Marine Corps to mature and kind of put myself back on the right path. And this shit happened. My plans were to graduate from college, get my bachelor's degree, because I needed that if I wanted to go to OCS and become an officer of the Marine Corps. And considering what had happened later on with 9/11 and the whole World Trade Center thing, I probably would have been going to Iraq. So this accident, in a sense, saved me from going to Iraq. But hey, I would have done it because that's what I signed up for. And I was kind of bummed when I remember watching the towers come down. I was in my apartment eating lunch, and I saw the second tower come down on live TV. And wow, I was so pissed. But I couldn't do anything about it because I had got an honorable discharge from the Marine Corps. And I was just working on walking, getting my life out of here. So. But like I said, that's what happened to me. And as you can see by today, I'm pretty much back. I'm living in South Carolina. I have a great job. I'm supporting myself, all that good stuff. Totally independent. Everything else. So, I just wanted to get home. I think that's the end of the first part. So, I'll catch you on the next clip. Talk later. Bye.